Hello everybody, it's Current Cartoon TV coming with you another Steven Universe review. This time we are actually reviewing the movie. As always, we have our special guest this time. We have Red.
Hey everyone.
And also sitting at the end of the couch here, we have Gundam.
What's up, guys?
So everybody, let's just get into this. We are actually going to be reviewing the Steven Universe, the movie. And this is now a fair warning here that if you guys have not watched the movie yet, you will be spoiled by spoilers in this movie. So if you haven't, go watch the movie now.
End the video now, watch the movie, and then come back.
Yes, come back. So, Steven Universe the movie takes place 2 years after the events of Season 5's finale, Change Your Mind, and follows the Crystal Gems as they attempt to save all organic life on Earth from a deranged gem with a history of Steven's mother. So Gundam, how about you go ahead and go with your likes of this?
Well, you all know me by this point. My likes, I loved the colors of this film. It's the best the show has ever looked, in my opinion, in its entire run. The art was so much on point. All of the angles, the lighting, every time it was their best. Everything they had to offer. I also love the music. Every tune is actually pretty catchy.
Yeah, who doesn't like the music? It is a musical movie, so who wouldn't like it for the music?
Oh yeah, it was amazing music and all that. It's like, wow, I just watched it like 4 times now in a row and I love the music.
I could honestly keep watching it that many times and still not get bored with it and just find little Easter eggs.
Especially the True Kind of Love song is just so...
Oh, when a difficult day goes by, keeping it together is hard, but that's why you got to try, you got to try.
Catchy. I'm definitely going to own the soundtrack to this in some shape or form. And overall, I really love the story. You know, I thought the pacing was pretty good. The dynamic I really love is the fact that Rose/Pink Diamond, her actions can change every gem she comes into contact with for the better or for the worse.
And definitely for the worse for Spinel here.
And Red, I'll have you take it from here. What did you like about this movie?
Oh my god, there were so many things that I loved about this. Of course, the music. I love how they incorporate the different music from previous episodes, like in Garnet's song about the future and whatnot. It has hints of Stronger Than You in it, and then like the main theme, like We Are the Crystal Gems, it's also in that song. It's like freaking awesome. I loved it. And I also love the variety of music. It goes from like this Disney kind of like ensemble choir to like this electro swing, which I adored Spinel's first song.
That's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally meet her other friends.
My favorite song so far.
That's my favorite
right?
song
Yeah, it's so
in
good.
the movie.
Let's see. Oh yeah, like you said, Gundam, I love the different animation styles, and especially the animation changes ever so slightly when it comes to certain scenes. So like when it's like the silly one when they're trying to figure out, you know, like Spinel, like and how she originally was, it's like this weird like Mickey Mouse and overly exaggerated features to then like this really serious part when like almost at the very end when Steven gets into like that 4K when he puts his foot down. It's like, what? Just for those like 4 frames or something. I love the relatable villain. It's Spinel. It's, you know, she's been hurt, and I feel like we can all relate to that. I feel like we've been abandoned by someone else, so I love that. Always with the slightly animated kind of references, always to like Gurren Lagann.
Sailor Moon was in there for sure.
And there was also one at like the moon scene when Steven and Spinel jump up into the clouds and it goes past the moon. There's also a similar scene in a music video called Snail's House by Pixel Galaxy. And then, of course, who doesn't love the Steven and Greg fusion? It was weird, but kind of hot.
You mean Steg there, my friend? Steg?
I'm calling him Mr. Universe because he's the bodybuilder. He is Mr. Universe.
That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was a little odd seeing, like, I don't think I've ever seen abs on someone like in Steven Universe before, so it was weird seeing, but it was cool. And I still like how they incorporate Steven is still picking up the pieces of his mom, and he will never be rid of that. It's such great character development where he's just sticking with it. Nothing is going to be perfect. He still has to keep working and trying hard to fix the wrongs of his mother. And that's pretty much the gist of my likes.
Well, what I liked about this was actually this great storytelling they did in this. Like, I love the fact that Steven lost his powers temporarily and he had to struggle so much to actually save his friends and save the Earth. I did like the fact that we get to see Steven's reaction as Connie kisses him on the cheek in the beginning of the episode. That was so cute and all that.
It was adorable. I ship it.
And I do like the fact that even if you did not watch the series and you actually jumped right into the movie, it kind of gives you a little backstory of each character. Like through the first part of the song, how Steven was growing up, learning how to use his powers, Pearl leaving her diamond to live on Earth with Rose, Garnet, and then Amethyst, and that was just amazing that even if you didn't know 100% of it, you at least got the main story kind of with these characters.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, with the Spinel, I love that introduction song she did. It's like, wow, I was just kind of like jumping in my seat back and forth, like, this is nice, cute tune and all that.
It's very catchy.
And then I kind of like all the default forms of the crystal gems, like when they got actually axed by Spinel and they reverted back to their original forms and all that. Pearl looking cute in her little dress and all that. Ruby, Sapphire, and even Amethyst. Amethyst I kind of liked a lot due to the fact that it looked like a ball joint doll that you could just play with and all that, because you had all the lines where the joints were all on that. And the reaction to Steven when Spinel actually rejuvenated back to her original form was priceless.
You! What have you done to us?
He just like was in shock, and who wouldn't? Like, you just saw your friends get freaking axed by this one person, and this person just comes back suddenly. It's like, wow, that would be a reaction I would definitely do.
Speaking of axe, I really loved her weapon. I thought that was a really good choice of weapon for her.
Yeah, that was very different. I really liked that. It was a good choice.
It was more of a scythe, not an axe. Sorry.
I liked it because it actually kind of conveyed, she's like, I came here to kill you, and who also comes here to like take, for death, and then a scythe, right?
Yeah.
So it's like she was the bringer of death, or she was death herself.
That's
for
a good one.
the Earth.
Now, I know Spinel's song was very good, and it's probably one of my top 3 songs, but I did like the song that Bismuth sang when Steven was trying to figure out things, and that was just, it gives me chills every time I see Bismuth actually pour the gold out onto the star.
That's why I believe in them, and I believe in you, because we are the crystal gems, and we never give up, no, we never give up on our friends.
It's like almost like the new theme song for Crystal Gems. I'm sorry. It's just like, it was like, oh, wow. And the rock show that brought Pearl's memories back. Man, Steg is like so amazing.
I thought that was gonna be bad. I don't know. I thought Greg was gonna do something or just be even sadder when Amethyst transformed into Rose Quartz. Like, oh god, memories are coming back.
And I'm kind of like glad that Greg kind of have now moved on a little bit more, because before he couldn't even stand to look at Amethyst when she transformed to Rose.
Exactly, yeah.
But now he stood there watching, and that was great. I did like the fact that, like, during the middle, after the rock song and after Steg defused back to Steven and Greg, that Steven was already, like, in pain and struggling to keep his powers. You see the
drain in his body and his eyes.
You did it! Steven?
That was rough.
It was really, really well done, because, he should be, like, exhausted after that, and that's what it shows, and I think they did a really good job.
And another fun fact I liked is when Spinel actually comes back to Earth after the garden scene, and she's at the stairs and all that, and everybody's pointing their weapons at her and all that. Mr. Greg Universe walks out of the bathroom, and everybody turns their weapons to him.
All right, I'll wash my hands. Okay.
It's like, all right, I'll wash my hands. That was like, it was a great break in the seriousness of the series. It was like, okay.
Exactly, it was great comedic timing.
And that fight, Steven versus Spinel, what amazing. It's like you said, it was like so fluid and all that, and his fighting style was amazing. It was like, wow.
They did a really good job on the animation for Spinel, because, like you said, it's like that Mickey Mouse, that Cuphead.
Yeah, totally Cuphead. Yeah, that's what that was.
And I loved it. She still looks like XJ9 to me, though.
Oh, yeah, totally.
One of my favorite points at the end was actually the diamonds finally taking Spinel back home. I was like, yes, I think everybody would like the scene that Steven could not redeem Spinel for what she did. But after seeing her backstory and all that, it's like, it's not her fault that she's this way. It's Pink Diamond's fault for her doing such a horrible thing to her, like leaving her on the garden. And it's like, wow, you couldn't even like get her back or anything like that. But I did like that song at the end where the diamonds are all singing. What a beautiful chorus that was.
Oh, it was beautiful. I'm starting to really love White Diamond. She's grown so much. She's just absolutely beautiful. Like, all three of them are gorgeous.
She's grown in 2 years and she has changed dramatically. So let's go ahead and go into our dislikes.
I wouldn't really call them dislikes. I'd call them like little nitpicks, because there wasn't anything like tremendous. Not like that Steven bomb a few months ago, or what was it, a year ago?
So, okay, how about Red? What are your nitpicks of this movie?
Well, Lars got one friggin' line. That was some garbage.
That one line, like, what?
They didn't do my boy justice.
Yeah, right? I wanted to see more with it, but I guess it wasn't really about Lars. It was more Steven and the gang, you know, the original crew. So that's just one nitpick. Another nitpick I had at the very end when Spinel and Steven are fighting, she brings her hands up in that big fist and throws it down on him, and she starts crying, and she's like, why am I doing this?
Doing? Why do I want to hurt you so bad? I'm supposed to be a friend. I just want to be a friend.
And you hear that crack in her voice, and I had tears forming in my eyes. I'm like, oh my god, I know what you're going through. But then it snaps out. It goes into the shattering of the big mechanism thing, and it kind of ruined the moment for me. I'm like, oh, I would have liked to see how that played out, but okay, things will break, I guess. It wasn't a bad scene at all. I was very emotional, but
You would like to see that played out a little bit longer and before the explosion.
exactly. And I did feel like it was kind of a cop-out when the diamonds came.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they came and got her, and they didn't really ask what had happened or what she did. They just like, oh, you were Pinks? Come here! There really wasn't a resolution. There was no forgiveness.
She kind of like self-morsed there and say, hey, I want to be your friend, but I already messed up so much here. I'm going to go ahead and leave.
She says she wanted to work on herself, which I think a lot of us can really understand.
Yeah, so that was the only nitpick. Oh, I also had a question. Like, where did she get that big giant drill? Where did that come from?
That is a good question. It's like, because we know the fact that she only started coming to Earth after she saw Steven's message to the galaxy that he's going to plan on staying on Earth. So she somehow corrupted herself or changed herself, got the drill, got the scythe, got the fluid that went into the drill.
The poison.
Within a few hours after that, because he came back home, sung his little song with everybody, laid on the back of the lighthouse, and then that's when she showed up. I could see if it was a couple days, maybe.
At least.
Now, the only thing I can think of for that is, remember in the beginning when they're talking with the diamonds, she said, Yellow Diamond said, I got rid of my armada, my weapons, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I was thinking to myself, but they didn't get rid of Pink's old weapons for her colonization stuff, right?
But she only colonized Earth. Where else would she have got all that stuff?
True. That is true. That'd be more for our afterthoughts. And how about you, Gundam? What dislikes did you have?
Well, same with Red. I didn't really have any dislikes, mostly just missed opportunities in my book. I was actually hoping that since the weapon that Spinel uses, the scythe, reverts them back to their beginning, I was hoping that Steven would also be struggling with turning back into Pink Diamond herself. Like, maybe like his arm becomes Pink Diamond's arm, like in one scene, and he has to save everybody else before he turns and reverts back to the beginning, before he forgets everybody. You know what I mean? I was hoping for that, which would have added a little bit more, urgency to him getting things done than just, losing his powers and stuff like that as well, which is fine, but that was the only nitpick I really had.
Well, I do have a couple nitpicks here. One of my nitpicks is actually Steg himself, Diffusion. I really didn't like the hip thrusting into the guitar at the beginning of the song. I'm like, that's a little... And the flirtation he does with Amethyst and Pearl. It's like, wow, he just like literally like smacked butts with the amethyst.
That was hilarious.
And then freaking like goo goo eye Pearl while she's up in the air when she's not even reverted back to her normal self.
I know, but I also get it because it's like these characters have grown. They're 16 now, and they're going through puberty. And
Greg should not have been going through puberty at this time.
but it's a mix, though. It's both Steven and Greg, so they're totally. I don't know. They're not totally different personalities, but
It's a dynamic that shows that, everyone's growing up fast and they are changing very, very rapidly.
yeah,
Hip thrusting into the guitar.
I love it. I support it.
And then I didn't like the fact that Spinell and Steven went to the garden. What purpose really did that solve? Oh, this is where I came from. This is where I changed. And then we're going back.
Well, she needed that memory of that place to be able to revert back because she'd lost her memories too.
I could have seen it like, hey, the key to shutting off the injector is back on the garden, and that's why they had to go back and get it. But they didn't really do anything like that. And why did Steven have the weapon, the scythe, in the first place? I know he tried to put it in Lion's mane.
At least I can store this thing in your mane. I can't store things in Lion's mane now. That's like the easiest thing I do.
And can't use it. But he has a room. He could have left it in the room, his room, back at the beach house.
I don't think he ever went back. To his room. He was just always on the move.
He walked through his room when he went to see Spinell on the warp gate.
Well, if it's just in your pocket, you kind of forget about it. So it just kind of, it's like, oh, this sucks that I carried this.
He had a lot of stuff on his mind, and that was the last thing he could think of. Because he probably thought that if he kept it, maybe if they couldn't bring back one of them, somebody would figure out a way to reverse that blade to also bring people back or something too. So I can understand where his mind was. It was, well, all over the place.
And another thing is, we didn't get really to see Connie much in this at all. Like maybe 4 different scenes in beginning, middle, and end. It's like, wow, okay,
True.
I understand that you trying to move her out and have her go to space camp, which is like, okay, she's been to space already. And another person is, we didn't see Jasper at all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like, wow, where's her redemption arc? Or where is like, I would like to see actually like Jasper somehow suddenly appearing to protect Steven. And that would have been like kind of amazing to see, like if he was like in a battle without his power still. She would have showed up like, hey, I'm going to help you.
True, but I think she's been out of the main series for so long that it would have just been a little bit off-putting for her to just randomly come back just to save him. And even still, we don't know if she's still okay with the fact that, she tried to hurt Steven, or she's slightly corrupted still. Not even corrupted. She's got that two-tone color now, like the turquoise and the orange.
So let's go ahead and go into our ratings here. Gundam, what did you give this out of 5 scale?
I'd have to still give it a 5 out of 5. It was an amazing film. I am definitely glad that Steven Universe can have a fully animated movie and get it done right.
A fully musical animated movie and get it done right.
True.
How about you, Red?
No questions. It's a 5 out of 5, of course. This was an amazing movie that I could easily rewatch over and over and over again.
And even with so many dislikes, there are still just nitpicks for me. And this is the reason why I will still give it a 5 out of 5. It is a perfect movie. I have already watched it 4 times in a row. So it was amazing and all that. I'd like to thank you all for sticking around us and listening to our review of Steven Universe, the movie. And if you guys like that, please like and subscribe to our channel. Get those notification buttons turned on so you guys get the up-to-date news and reviews of our next video.
And don't forget, guys, we got a lot of pages down in the description. We have our website, Twitter, our Facebook, our Patreon as well. And Red, you have some pages down there as well.
Yeah, I have some. I have a cosplay page. I'm at Perfectly Red Cosplay on Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram at Perfectly Red.
Well, again, thank you guys for all tuning into this night's episode. Thank you and good night.
See you guys. Don't forget to comment down below.
See you guys later.